Irrigation is an essential part of any good landscape design. It ensures that your plants and trees get the water they need to thrive. So once you know how much water your landscape requires, it's time to take a closer look at your irrigation system.
The irrigation system is essentially an invisible backbone of any yard and garden. And in my opinion, it's one of the most critical and most important. Before you buy hundreds or even thousands of dollars worth of plant materials, you need to make sure that your irrigation system is functioning properly so that you can support and water those plant materials.
Irrigation efficiency can vary widely. It's determined by your plant selection and the irrigation you choose. Not all sprinklers are created equal. Older, inefficient irrigation systems broadcast a lot of water, too fast for the soil to absorb, and will be lost to wind and runoff.
Traditionally, low efficiency systems include most spray head systems, which are the high pressure fan type sprinklers that you see on most lawns and in most gardens today.
A moderately efficient irrigation system is one that would most likely be using an overhead irrigation application. It includes the rotator sprays, the rotary sprinklers, and stream rotors. It's still overhead irrigation, but it's a slower precipitation rate, so that the water has a chance to absorb into the soil as it's being irrigated, with very little runoff. The most efficient type of irrigation is a drip system because it puts water only where it's needed at the root zone of the plant. You don't have to dig or trench. You can lay all your drip lines above the surface and cover them with mulch. Drip irrigation can be adapted to different size emitters. It can even be used in rings to reach spreading roots like those of trees. Overhead sprayers like pop-ups, rotator heads, and risers are ideal for taller plants, broad areas like turf, and dense plantings such as ground cover. New water-saving models can actually match the precipitation rate of drip, and it's easy to troubleshoot because it's all above ground. Achieving moderate water efficiency can be as simple as changing your irrigation heads and controller timing. But before you retrofit your irrigation system, there are some key facts you need to uncover. Water pressure is the single most important feature to learn about when designing an irrigation system. Too much or too little pressure can prevent your system from working properly. Most sprinkler systems work at an optimal pressure of 30 to 50 pounds per square inch, or PSI. And most drip systems work best in the range of 20 to 40 psi. Too much pressure can damage your drip system. Water pressure should be measured at the sprinkler head. Take the nozzle off a sprinkler head, screw on a pressure gauge with an adapter, and turn on your irrigation. The pressure should be between 25 and 40 pounds per square inch. If the pressure is too low, water won't reach your plants. Pressure that's too high can damage your irrigation system and create a maintenance headache. High pressure can be managed with a pressure regulator. Water pressure that's too low is more of a challenge. Try reducing the number of heads on the line or switch to drip, which works best with lower pressure. For answers to your specific irrigation questions, it's best to consult an irrigation specialist. When you designed your planting plan, you grouped plants with similar water needs together. This is called hydrozoning. Hydrozoned plants can be grouped together on the same irrigation zone. On your planting plan, circle the irrigation heads that need to be converted. Note the head you're converting and the type you're converting it to. Cross out the ones you're capping off. Prepare your materials list and visit a professional irrigation supplier. They have the knowledge and the expertise to address your specific irrigation questions.
So how do I adapt my existing heads to...
Take old sprinkler heads with you or pictures of them to make sure your replacement heads fit the previous mounts. To keep costs at a minimum, try to use as much of the existing irrigation as possible. This includes the control valves, the controller, and all the pipes in the ground. If you're converting to drip, you can leave the old pipes in place.
It's really very easy to retrofit your existing turf pop-up heads by using a retrofit kit. The retrofit kit has a body that looks just like a regular pop-up. Inside, however, is a filter. That filter stops particulate matter from clogging your system. In addition, it contains a pressure regulator. That pressure regulator is very important because it reduces the water pressure. Without it, your drip system is going to blow apart.
To build your drip heads, wrap the retrofit body's threads with plumber's tape to prevent leaks and screw on the adapter. Wrap the adapter with plumber's tape too, and then add the drip irrigation head. Push the drip line into place. A dot of dish soap will help lubricate the connection. Put it in place of the pop-up head and the job is complete. Overhead spray systems can be an easy retrofit. Simply swap out the old spray heads with new rotating sprinklers or efficient nozzles. Another key to irrigation efficiency is becoming familiar with your irrigation controller. Your irrigation controller is more than just an on and off switch. It allows you to set specific watering days, start times, and run times. Knowing how to operate your controller can save you a significant amount of water. If you don't already have one, consider upgrading to a smart controller, which is a weather-based or moisture detection system that automatically adjusts your watering schedule in response to environmental changes. Smart controllers have the ability to turn off your sprinklers when it rains and increase the frequency or duration of water in hotter weather. Look for the WaterSense label when upgrading your controller.
This leads to the big question: how much water does your new WaterSmart landscape need? The answer is, it depends.
There are 3 factors that determine a watering schedule: soil texture, how fast water infiltrates and drains, and how well it holds water. Precipitation rate, how fast water is applied. Be careful to match the precipitation rate of your irrigation to the infiltration rate of your soils. And last but not least, plant needs, which vary by plant type and by season. An easy way to find out how much water you should use is by consulting an online landscape watering calculator. You can find a link to one in our e-guide to a WaterSmart lifestyle. It's free, easy to use, and works for any location in San Diego County. Simply input your zip code, your plant materials, your soil type, and the type of sprinklers you have. And in return, it will give you a watering schedule that you can program into your controller.
Finding solutions to your irrigation needs takes time, effort, and some upfront resources. But an efficient system can reduce your water use and help your new landscape thrive. Take time to learn about yours. Perform some simple retrofits, and you'll soon be watering like a pro.